Welcome, dear students. Today we will discuss about the information society. What is information society? Society can be described as the one in which people use information and knowledge as the most productive resource to create wealth and get empowered as citizens and hence access to and share mankind's store of information and knowledge across the national boundaries. Generally, we call it in short form ICT. ICT means information and communication technologies or revolutionary the ways of working, transforming economy, forging new social relationships, and impacting on the way people live and interact. So, shaping a new information society. The internet became reality from an idea to share expensive computer resources provided by the military to universities across the United States through APRANET, APRANET. The network operated using packet switching, a method of transforming information that breaks down messages into small packets that are transmitted separately across the network and reassembled once received at the target. Digital technology came into prominence in the mid 20th century. American engineers developed this technique based on mathematical concepts on a binary computing system as suggested by the here we need to know about the one person. His name is Wilhelm Leibniz. So he is the first front runner of the computer computing. Digital technology has transferred how people communicate, learn, and work. The convergence of communication and computing technologies, especially through the internet, it is the most significant feature of this information technology revolution. Technological convergence is leading to gather greater optimization of the costs. So, leaving scope for cost reduction and resulting in a greater network access. So, in this unit, we will discuss about the concept of information society, internet and communication across boundaries, development of digital technology, digital divide, and many more. Information society can be already have discussed. There is some more definitions for the information system. As per the Daniel Bell, a society that organizes itself around knowledge in the internet, interest of social control, and the management of innovation and change. Another person, Yoneji Masuda, as per his definition, put a new type of society where the position of information is the driving force behind its transformation and development, where human intellectual creativity flourishes. So there is a more definitions we have in the textbook. Once you read it, you will get some clarity. Like some another person is Nick Murray, as per his thought, the concept of information society, a society where the information is used as an economic resource. The community exploits it, and behind it, all an industry develops which produces the necessary information. Now coming to discussion on the introduction to information and society. Information, what is information? Information is an expression related to an experience, the communication of knowledge and experience such as data, knowledge, learning, communication, and news. Information as a knowledge, we say the knowledge. It is exclusively as it links to one particular person and signifies to an context. As an entity, it is intangible but can be communicated and shared with others. Information as a thing, it is similar to knowledge, that it is recorded, hence it is tangible. Data also belongs here, that is recorded knowledge. Information exchange called information as a process is essentially equal to the process of becoming informed. Consequently, it links information as thing with information as knowledge. Society is any human group that uh, itself more or less linked to one specific geographical region, holding its own institution and culture. Both tribes and nation states in the modern sense belong to this category. Currently, the criterion for a community to be defined as a society is the potential for its members to interact with each other, and what is more important is the frequency and scale of these interactions. Even in the most isolated societies, there must exist some communication among its members, otherwise they could not be called societies. Another feature of for recognition of a society, that is whether the cultural and institutional communication could be sustained in the course of its history. Contrary to the recent sociological trend, society as a basic concept may no longer be the key to getting to know our world, since the examination of a single society may divert other attention from other interaction taking place between and behind societies. we call it is a globalization. Society and the components of information like data, thought, information, knowledge processing, and communication have gained significance and occupies a important role, which determines relationship, reproduction, continuity, culture, institutions, and the ideas of the nation, state, and global togetherness. Existence of information society has brought virtual changes in frequency of social interrelations at a much lower cost in a much easier manner and allowing many more people to interact with each other. Information is a major, it's important for proper functioning of any society and social subsistence. Information has played a proactive role in the process of every social formation and in shaping of industrial and also agricultural societies. The fact remains that without information, the society is non-existent. While undoubtedly true, all societies necessary to know it is in the information flow, but none of the previous societies were so extensively influenced by the communication, reception, processing, recording, decoding, and the flow of information like currency. From the technological perspective, we live in an information society. Since information and telecommunication technologies play important role in the fields of social existence, which has shaken the foundation of a social structure and process, and this resulted in massive changes in politics, economy, culture, and our day-to-day life. The origin of information society. Let us discuss about the origin of information. The concept and studies about information society first emerged in Japanese social science in the early 1960s. The Japanese version of the expression is Joho Shakai or Johaka Shakai. Around 1980s, terms information and society combined into a concept which included and encapsulated all the previous partial concepts and even preserve the expressive power, approach, and attitude they represented. We need to know more about some topics like manifestation of the computer and the scientific technological revolution with brain work largely replacing manual work. Open the way towards the concept of information society. In its evaluation, people have given different names for information society, like intellectual performance and knowledge, white collar work, official knowledge worker, post-industrial society. These are some alternative nomenclatures for the information society. In the end, the term information society, which was the umbrella term used to describe the elemental social changes that took place in the second half of the 20th century. It remained as a striking phenomenon, but not for long. The term quickly filtered through to the political sphere and the language of the media. And as a result, it had to face multiple challenges overseas. There is a challenges we have discussed. So vital issues of a information society, especially uh, essential issues of an information society should be studied in the context of a civilization theory. This means all civilization issues that generate discourse are regarded as issues of information society. Since they come into being in the context of today's information societies, the concept and issues of the global information society address all the significant components of the organizations functioning in the boundary-less environment. In fact, there are a great number of problems that were raised, but primarily identified are those of identity, international communication, international organizations, the World Wide Web, and supranational regulation, migration process, multiculturalism, and also global knowledge management. Dear students, so far we have learned about the information society and the archive. Here we need to know about the concept of the suitable information society. This poses problem of the environment and natural resources with social innovation and action planning determining the future development of the suitable and sustainable information society. This giving the rise to green information society. This is a little bit advantage to the information society, that is a green information society. Safety of the information society involves many problems, areas ranging from the issues of a society becoming fragile as a result of being at the mercy of technology through questions of the preservation of the accumulated knowledge of mankind to the anthro uh, to the anthropogenic threats our civilization is exposed to. The expression space-oriented information society signifies that the dynamics and direction of human activity. Here, point more markedly behind the Earth's limit towards space research through satellite information transmission and information technology solutions enabling the emergence of the information society. Today's high-tech achievements in remote manipulation, data transmission, and astronomy aptly reflect the changing dynamics of information society. Here we need to know about the creative information society, what it is. It relates to mass proliferation of producing virginal knowledge. This is presented in the business literature as a productivity, while other regarding it as generating an employment revolution for the individual. The concept post-information society, which emerged in recent years as put forth numerous future scenarios surpassing the current institutions and technologies like biotechnological revolution, new generation of artificial intelligence and machine learning, visions of fusion of a man and machine into functional systems. Dear students, if you have any doubts, you may please type your doubt in the chat box. I will read it and give you the clarification. Internet and communication across the boundaries. In 1983, ARPANET started using the TCP or IP protocols. This is commonly seen as the true beginning of the Internet. Internet protocols including TCP, IP means transfer control protocol or Internet protocol. HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, FTP, File Transfer Protocol, and SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. All these included in the Internet protocols. Here we need to know some more about the details. The World Wide Web has turned the Internet into a major mass medium. That provides news, entertainment, and community interaction. The web, in short form, we call it is a wide web. In short form, we call it is a web. The web offers a mix of content providers, including traditional media companies, news media companies. They are offering publication available only on web. Already we are discussing in the previous class. Over the past several years, users have moved increasingly from a slow dial-up connection to high-speed, always-on connection that have changed how people view and the use of internet. Earlier, we know only 2G mobiles, 3G mobiles, 4G mobiles, 5G. Now we have experiencing 5G fast internet network we are now using. In some countries, there is a 7G, 8G also. Okay, coming to the India. Media are making use of these high-speed connection to deliver content that include a rich mix of video, audio, photos, and text. The internet has become the world's largest distributing communication, retrieval, and computing system. Its basic function are sending, securing messages. The internet in general the web in a particular way based on a set of values known as the accurate. This ethic holds that information should be freely distributed and that individuals should access and exchange messages. Here we need to know about the hacker ethic. What is that? It is a term for moral values and philosophy that are standard in the hacker community. The early hacker culture and the resulting philosophy originated at the uh, American institution, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, that is the MIT in the 1950s and 1960s. The term hacker ethic is attributed to journalist Stephen Levin. The key points within this ethic are access, freedom of information, and improvement to quality of life. There is some additional points we need to know. That is, they are access to computers and anything might teach and something about a way the world works should be unlimited and total. All information should be free and mistrust authority, promote decentralization. Hackers should be judged by their hacking, not bogus ideas such as degrees, age, race, or position. People can create art and beauty on a computer and they can change the life for better. Dear students, information while stored in the website and transmitted over the internet must be tamper-proof. Its integrity must be intact. That is, it should not be replaced, altered, or manipulated, or interpolated, or deleted, or added, or subtracted, and it must be secured from institution. Security in networking is based on cryptography. The science and the art of transforming message to make them secure and immense to attack. Cryptography can provide several aspects of security related to the interchange of message through networks. These aspects are confidentially integrity, authentication, and non-repudiation. Here we need to know about some key points like symmetric key cryptography. In symmetric key cryptography, the same key is used by both the parties. The sender uses a key and an encryption algorithm to encrypt data, and the receiver uses the same key and decryption algorithm to decrypt the data. Another key is asymmetric key. In asymmetric or public key cryptography, there are two keys called a private key and a public key. The private key is kept by the receiver and the public key is announced to the public. Let's discuss about the information for transmission. This put into packets and delivery of the packets can be accomplished by using either a connection-based or a connection-less network services. Like Wi-Fi is not a connection. That is a good example for us. And local area networks and WAN. There is a number of different types is there. In a connection-oriented protocol, the decision about the route of some sequence of packets with the same given source and designated destination address can be made only once when the connection is established. Switches do not recalculate the route for each individual packet. This type of service is used in a virtual circuit approach. Dear students, we need to know about the Internet Protocol versions. Now, Internet Protocol version 4 is the delivery mechanism used by the TCP IP protocols. Already we have discussed in earlier slide. By this network, the network layer protocol in the TCP or Internet protocols suite is currently IPv4. Why this is? Because it has some deficiencies that make it unsuitable for the fast-growing internet. Despite all short-term solutions such as subnetting, classless addressing, and NAT address, depletion is still a long-term problem in the internet. Now let us discuss about the, there is all technical aspects so far we have discussed, but this is a little confusion to you to understand. But even though we need to know about basics about the what is IPv4, what is IPv6, what is the uses of these technologies. Now coming to discuss about the development of digital technology. Digital technology is based two processes. Digitized information is recorded in binary code of a combination of the digits 0 and 1 called called bits, which represent words and images. Let's discuss about more about the digital technology. Here we need to know about the telecommunication. Telecommunications use a digital method to transmit messages. And in the early 1980s, enhanced fiber optics enabled the development of digital communication networks. Digital technology replaced analog signals for many telecommunication forms, particularly cellular phones and cable system. Earlier, we know only through the cables only. Now we have advanced without cables only cable-less means fiber optics now available. Compared to analog transmission and digitized signals, to change analog data into digital signals, In a communication, satellites transmit compressed digital signals for viewers to receive several hundred television programs of their choices. Other forms of digital information, including audio programs, are sent to subscribers via satellite. Digital data broadcast system. This is like in the electronic numerical integrator and calculator. In the short form, we call it is a ENIAC. Is the first electronic computer. In the early 2000s, digital computers ranging from desktop to laptops came in many sizes. Now we are using mobile phones as a computer because in the mobile phone, this is in a just a size of our palm. We are using more means that we are using internet or we are using for that one for seeing YouTube channels, and we are using the handset for using social media applications. Bluetooth is we are using Bluetooth microphones, and earlier in the mobile phones we have a Bluetooth system. What is Bluetooth? Bluetooth is a wireless LAN technology. What it is do? Bluetooth is a wireless LAN technology designed to connect devices of different functions such as telephones, notebooks, computers, cameras, printers, and many more. A Bluetooth LAN is an ad hoc network, which means that the network is formed spontaneously and the devices, sometimes called gadgets, find each other and make a network called, this is called as a P-connect. A Bluetooth LAN can even be connected to the internet if one of the gadgets has this capability. A Bluetooth LAN by nature cannot be large. If there are many gadgets that try to connect, there is a chaos, coerce. Cellular telephony is designed to provide communication between the two moving units called mobile stations, or between one mobile unit and one stationary unit, often called a land unit. The network locates and tracks a caller, assigns channels to the caller, and called and hands over the call from the base station to station as the caller moves out of a range. This function of radio-based station is called handover. Here in this part, this portion, we have learning about the more technical aspects, because this is not implies in a general practice of journalism, but we need to know about some basic knowledge about this technology. Here we need to know about the digital data broadcast system. This digital data broadcast system is guided air traffic control, digital radiography, converted analog signals to signals of X-rays to create digital images. Earlier, we know the X-ray only, which is came on the film and we see it. But now it is if we are captured in the machine of the X-rays, that is now creating in a digital image. Digital information was stored on a plastic disc with fitted patterns of ones and zeros that lasers translated. Digital cameras had transformed photography by recording color and light intensities with the pictures. Earlier, we have only this manual, means that real camera. Now we have a digital camera. This is very much using in a journalism field. In a general field also there is a much use, but coming to our practice, our journalism practice, digital cameras giving us more pictures, more images, and with the digital image we can modify it, we can we made it as brightness, and we can put different colors for a black and white screen also. All this is possible with the in a digital data broadcast. Generally, we call it is in a photos and videos, digital compression of the images and videos was achieved by Giant Photographic Experts Group. Generally, we call it as a JPEG. If we see in the mobile phones, once we open it, the extension of that file will display on that file, that is JPEG or PNG. So all these are the file formats. For moving pictures, we see Motion Picture Experts Group, MPEG. These are some codes. Animation had often been digitized with some films and cartoons being created entirely with the computers. Now we are now experiencing AI and artificial intelligence and machine learning tools. With artificial intelligence tools, we are getting videos. Just we need to give some inputs, need some prompts. It will generate AI videos. No need to capture with our camera even. Now coming to discuss about the digital divide. Dear students, if you have any doubts, please raise your hand. Raise your hand, and this is a mainly counseling class. Means you have to be interact with the teacher. Teacher will give you the doubts. If you have a doubts, the teacher give you the clarification. If there is no doubts, we'll go to the another topic, that is a digital device. Let us focus on the dimensions of the digital device. Broadly speaking, the difference is not necessarily determined by the access to the internet, but by access to ICT, means information and communication technologies, and to media that the different segments of society can use. Bridging the gap. The idea that some information and communication technologies are vital to quality civic life is not new. Some suggest that the internet and other ICTs are somehow transforming society, improving our mutual understanding, eliminating power differentiations, realizing a truly free and democratic world society, and other benefits. Let us discuss what is the definition of the digital device. we may describe it is a gap in terms of access to and use of information and communication technology. It was traditionally considered to be a question of having or not having access of information communication technologies. This gap is called digital divide. In this modern days, the mobile phone penetration of over 98%. It is becoming a relative inequality between those who have more and less bandwidth and more or fewer skills. Conceptualization of the digital divide have been described as who with which characteristics connects how to what. So the meaning of the digital device is who are using the tools of the digital device and who are not using the digital device tools. So this is the gap. What is the between the gap who are using and who are not using? That is called digital divide. Here we need to know about the problem. The problem is often discussed in international context. It is indicating certain countries are far more equipped than other developing countries. Developing countries like India is also one of the developing countries. To exploit the benefits from the rapidly expanding internet. Here is the latest state of the internet report from one company, Akamai, showing average and maximum connection speeds, internet penetration and broadband adoption, mobile uses, as well as trends in the data over time. The digital divide is not intended a clear single gap which divides a society into two groups. And based on that research report, that disadvantage can take such from forms of as lower performance computers, lower quality, or high price connections, that is a narrow band or dial-up connection. Because all these are now based because now in this decade we have a lot of changes in the technology. There is a bandwidth, high-speed bandwidth is available nowadays. Over 100 Mbps per second is available nowadays. Many internet providers, they are providing the access of 100 Mbps per second. Earlier, there is a 10 Mbps. 1 Mbps is some 15, 20 years ago. 1 Mbps means mobile byte per second is that is a very unique, but now 1 Gbps is possible. Let us discuss about the bridging the gap, how to bridge the gap. The idea that some information and communication technologies are vital to quality life is not new. Broadly speaking, the idea that some information and communication technologies are how it is part in our daily life. Some suggest that the internet and other ICTs are somehow transforming society, improving our mutual understanding, eliminating power differentiations. These are some important factors. In many countries, access to the telephone system is considered such as a vital element that governments implement various policies to offer affordable telephone service. Unfortunately, some countries lack sufficient telephone lines. Another one is literacy. Literacy is another such element, although it is not related to any new technologies or latest technological devices. It is a very widely shared view in many societies that being literate is essential to one's career. To self-guide learning, nowadays we have learning through YouTube. There is a number of YouTube, there are a number of lessons available in the YouTube. No need of a teacher. It is a self-guided learning. In case if we have any doubts, we need to talk with the teacher. It is also possible with some network, some scope with us like a massive online courses is available. There is a teacher also available. He guides you, he gives clarifications of your doubts. All this is possible with the information communication technology. So there is also some cons with us, pros and cons is there everywhere, like interactive literacy data to see which countries are most affected. Dear students, so far we have discussed about the in this information society lesson, the concept of consequence studies about the information society first emerged in Japanese social science in the early 1960s. And the purpose of the information society is to provide a common vision and understanding of the information society. And on the basis of this shared vision, to adopt a declaration of fundamental principles for the creation of an information society, which is truly global in participation. We have learned about the digital divide. Digital divide can exist between those living in rural areas and those living in the urban areas. But nowadays we have mobile phones. We have a mobile phones and network also available in the rural areas also. So they are also accessing mobile phones, and they are also knowing the latest updates through with the mobile phone tools. Dear students, so far we have discussed in this session about the digital information society. We have some more time. Now we will discuss about the new lesson, that is the origin of internet. In this lesson, we will discuss about the origin and basics of internet, URLs, HTML, and search engines, web database, bandwidth, internet scenario in India, and various other internet governances like ICANN, IE, PF, WPC, etc. Because we have only short time, it means 5 to 6, 7 minutes we have available. In this short period, I will go with some basics about this unit. The internet is a global network consisting of interconnected computer networks using standardized communication protocols. Already we have discussed about what are the protocols in the earlier unit. It facilitates instant communication and transfer of data across the globe. Now, coming to discuss about the origin and basics of the internet. The internet was first conceived, coined in the year 1960 by Dr. J.C.R. Littleader, head of the Information Processing Unit in the U.S. Department of Defense. In his pioneering paper, Man-Computer Symbiosis, in which he gave a clarion call for the global networking of computers. And coming to the origin and basics of internet, in 1967, Dr. Robert Taylor, the new head of the Information Processing Offices of Advanced Research Projects Agency, that is the APRA, along with Larry Lobots of MIT, initiated to build the APRANet. So the first APRANet link was established between the University of California, Los Angeles, and Stanford Research Institute on the 29th November 1969. It was by the 15th December 1969. A four-mode network was established with the University of Utah and University of California, Santa Barbara. Why these? Because we need to know about some history. As a journalism student, we need to know the history, but it is a knowledge we must know about this hierarchy of the internet. There is a hierarchy in 1961. Leonardo writes the first paper on packet switch networks. This is the base for the modern technology of the internet. Next, JCR, who writes a paper describing a globally connected galactic network. So we use the word galactic network. And Leonard used packet switch networks. In 1966, Larry Roberts processes the APRANet to the Defense Department's Advanced Research Projects Agency. In 1968, APRA issues a request for quotations for the interface message processors, that is the INTs, which became the first routers, what we know present-day routers. In 1969, first INT is installed in UCLA. Early 1970s, universities and defense agencies and contractors began to connect to APRANet. In 1973, Bob Kahn and Vint research into what eventually becomes IP, the Internet Protocol, and its companion, that is the TCP, the Transmission Control Protocol. In 1973, Bob Metcalfe develops Ethernet, which had been the subject of his PhD thesis while working at the Xerox company. Early 1980s, the personal computer revolution begins. This is the history, which is already included in your textbook. Once you read it, no need to be focused, but we must know the history of this chronological order of the origin of the internet, the history of the internet. So in 1993, we have the latest means in the internet there is a major major development. NCSA means National Center for Supercomputing Applications of the University of Illinois, that is a United States university. This institute releases Macintosh and Windows versions of Mosaic. So this is a good development in the internet technology. Yeah, dear students, here I am concluding today's session because this Unit 5 is required more means there is a more related to the history and technology. So in the tomorrow session, we will discuss about these topics in detail. Thank you for participating in this counseling classes. Tomorrow we'll meet again with new topics. Thank you very much.